Hey everyone, Cooper here, host of the fine podcast you're listening to. I just want to let you know that the episode you clicked on has a format that is very heavily inspired by a podcast called The Bookening. To be clear, our thoughts and opinions in this episode are our own, but the format is very similar to this podcast. I just wanted to give you a heads up and give credit where it is due. With that out of the way, enjoy the show. Coming up next, Booking It discusses Ember Falls. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bookin'. I'm of course your humble and eloquent host, Mr. Cooper Cobbs, and joining me today is my good friend, Mr. Isaiah Raetsky. How you doing, my good friend?
Hi, I'm doing good. That was a great pronunciation of my last name.
Oh yeah, very Romanian. Okay, actually, say
totally.
How would an actual Romanian say your last name?
Raetsky.
Okay, Raetsky. I don't know. I'm trying too hard, probably.
Oh, pretty close.
Okay. Yeah, I have to settle for pretty close almost every time I say your last name. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, Tanner hopefully will be joining us sometime later. He said he would, but we couldn't wait for him because he's late. So we'll go ahead and dive.
Yeah, what a loser.
What a loser. Goodness, he's never gonna listen to this part, so we can roast Tanner as much as we want. Isaiah, anything you want to say behind Tanner's back that you want to say right now?
He's a turd and a loser. There you go.
I said behind his back. You call him that to his face.
That's true. He's still a turd and a loser.
Yeah, you're not okay. Yeah, that's good. It's good stuff.
There you go.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm gonna just consistently be ringing Tanner throughout this podcast to see if he joins us. So, anyway, let's go ahead and dive in and talk about Ember Falls. I had planned to get Tanner's thoughts, but since he's not here, I wanted to say something that I wish I'd maybe emphasized more last time. That I think that the Green Ember is a really cool, iconic image. Like if you're writing a book or writing, especially a fantasy book, you really want to have some kind of memorable thing to where you can say a couple words or even show an image and people know what you're talking about. Like for Harry Potter, it's the Deathly Hallows sign. For Lord of the Rings, it's the One Ring or the Tree of Gondor. For Moby Dick, it's like the White Whale. But for the Green Ember, it's obviously the Green Ember. So I think that's like it's a really cool, like, iconic image that is out there. That's really cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That it's really good. It's really fun, especially gets into the play with the Whitsun Stone and all that glorious stuff that happens in this
all
book.
That stuff.
Yeah. So, Zay, what do you think about good old Ember Falls, Book 2 of Green Ember? I don't know. How do you feel about Book 2s and series and things like that, the middle book or whatever?
I feel like, I don't know. Usually for most like series, at least that I've read and that I can remember right now, the second book in the series is always like one of the worst ones.
Yeah.
But like it still moves the story along because it'll never be as good as the first.
Right.
But this one does do a good job. This one is pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
Again, not as good as the first one, but it does move the story along so that you still stay kind of like, I don't know, it keeps your attention and wants to like it. Basically, I wanted to continue reading after I finished it and read the next ones, but sadly when I started I couldn't because they weren't out.
That's a good job of the middle book is to get you through. And this book is it's a quartet. So I honestly when I started reading these, I knew where the first book because and I knew how the middle two books ended, but a lot of stuff in the middle two books just kind of blended together. I wasn't really sure what happened, so it was kind of fun to read it again. And okay, this is what happens in this book. So I couldn't remember if Blessed happened in the second or the third book, or things like that. Mm-hmm. And Heather taking Emma's spot. But I was pretty sure that was in the second book, though. But actually, I kind of had a lot more fun with this book over the first one. I know that's shocking, but I did. Like as I said, it's I think it's better written. I think it's also more entertaining. And this is a fast read. Like, this went by fast. Like, this took me... I started it... Okay, so Isaiah's going to be out of town next week. Isaiah, where are you going to be?
I'll be at Disney. Woo!
Oh, yeah, baby.
Disney
and
World,
so
yeah.
we were like, oh crap, we have to double up this week, so you have to do Green Ember. And I had not reread this book. So I started it last night. I read like a quarter of it, and then I finished it today. It took me like an hour and a half of total reading time. Like, it went by really fast. And so I just had a good time, sitting down, reading really fast, getting through a lot of stuff, and having some fun. So I don't know. I found that I ended up liking this book a lot better than, not a lot, but I liked it much better than the first one. So I don't know. That's what I think about. What I think about it. What was your favorite part from the book? Yeah.
Trying to remember what my favorite part was right now. Hold on a sec. It's been a little bit since I read this book. It's like two months ago.
Yeah.
Is this the part where it's with the tunneler?
The
Is that in
tunneler.
this book? No, it's in the next book.
Okay. Oh yeah. That's the next book.
Never
All the
mind.
stuff with
Okay.
Heather. Man, I didn't expect this question to be such a stumper.
Yeah. See, man, the second and third book kind of blended together for me, where I don't remember where one.
No, I
ends and
agree.
where
It
the other
totally
one
does.
starts. Like,
It totally does. The second book is all about Blesston, right? The Silver Prince. Then we have the big battle at the end at Cloud Mountain. Porkinson betrays Emma.
oh, that's the ending. Yeah. Okay. No, that part was really cool. With this is the part with Pickett, right, where he flew.
Yeah, he flies. Actually flies.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was cool with the wingsuit. I thought that was the beginning of the third book.
Yeah. No, it's the end of the second one. I remember thinking at first,
cool.
I remember actually it being really cool at first when I first read the book, and the more I'm like, okay, it's pretty cool, but it's kind of hitting the nail on the head. Like, Pickett actually flew. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
I thought that was
pretty
pretty
cool.
cool. It was really cool. It's fun. I guess we should talk about the controversy of Prince Blesston, the Silver Prince, the owner of the Whitsun Stone. Another reason why I like this is it has like the backstory, like the behind the scenes politics of the Green Ember world and who's going to become the true king, the successor. I think that any good, fantasy book should have the behind the scenes, who's going to take the crown, who's going to wear it, who's going to swear fealty to who. I really like that a lot. So I like the character of Blesston. I like that he's it's very stereotypical and tropish, but I like that the older brother who gets looked over when it comes time to give the crown vanishes, and he has a claim to the throne. And is he going to support Prince Smalls? Is he not? Then Smalls gets fake killed, except he's not. So I don't know. What'd you think about him, Isaiah? Tell me your thoughts, bro.
So, right now, I like him, and I think it was pretty cool. When I first read it, or like that, it was pretty cool with the storyline, that it helped I thought it was a good idea, and that it helped move the storyline along, and it also kept it, like, made me wonder, like, is he going to be good, bad, like, who is he, and all that. First time I read it, I'm like, who is this guy? I want to read more about Pickett, not this guy. So, didn't really pay attention to him. I was also, like, 9.
Yeah. What's interesting about it is, if you look at, like, what he says, it's kind of like socialism or communism. Like, I want everybody to be a king and a queen. You are a queen. It's like, it's at the same time foreshadowing for, spoiler alert, who Heather's actually going to be at the end of the series. And also, like, this weird form of, it's kind of weird, because he had this, like, communistic thing. But then it was like, he ran the Citadel well, and is a good leader. And so you're kind of like, hold up, what's going on? So, but I don't know. I like I said, the Whitsun Stone, the Green Ember, and all that stuff going on, it's pretty fun. The is he gonna support Smalls or not? I think it adds a bunch of fun tension to it. I guess we should talk about the plot twist of the book next. So, I guess we have 3 really big plot twists. First, no, it's not really a plot twist, but everybody knew that Prince Blessed and the Silver Prince was going to betray them. And then, secondly, we have Emma is actually Small's sister and another heir, possibly. And then, what's the other one again? Perkinson betrays everybody.
Yes,
So,
yeah.
I don't know. What do you think? Were these engaging plot twists? Were these predictable? Did these to make you go what and want to keep reading?
I kind of felt that I kind of thought, I don't know, that Perkinson would betray them.
Yeah.
I don't know, just kind of randomly thought it. I don't know my reasoning behind it, but that's kind of what I thought. Emma, though, although I feel like that one should have been a bit more obvious, kind of shocked me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, was there a third one that you said?
It was just Bluston's betraying them.
Oh, that guy? Yeah, with him, I just had no clue who he was going to be. I was like, he's probably going to betray them in the end, but I didn't think it'd be then.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'd say, I mean, part of me wonders if, I'm sure he had an idea. I'm sure from the beginning when he was mapping out the series, he was like, okay, I want to have Smalls, fake die. And so, if that happens, I need to have someone who's going to take his place. And so he kind of added this dimension to Emma of, hey, if she dies, or if Smalls dies, then she's going to be the heir. And it's as far as stereotypical things go, as far as stereotypical plot twists go, it's not anything new or exciting. Oh no, there's a new secret heir. But as far as it adds to the story, and it's fun and engaging, and like I said last week, if anybody's gonna be the Green Emperor Grump, it's gonna be me. So, my expectations are a little bit lower. Like if this was a novel trying to do more, then I might hold it against it for this plot twist. But as far as the Green Emperor is a fun, imaginative series for kids and for families, it's fine plot twist. It adds to the story, I think. Doesn't detract from it. Even if it is kind of like, oh no, she doesn't know who her parents are. She's the main character. It's not like, come on, when was the last time we had a main character in a series who didn't know who their parents were? Who at the end of the series didn't turn out their parents were somebody special? Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know, so I'm saying it should have been obvious, but for some reason for me, it just went right over my head.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's kind of what I think about that plot twist. As far as the one with Perkinson, for me, this one was really obvious from the moment that he kills the dude in whatchamacallit?
Yes.
He kills the Lord Ramner or whatever of the Citadel, and he's suspiciously the only one there. And then the guy says, "There it lies." Okay, can we also talk about why after every person's been assassinated, they have a few last words? Why are they always so ambiguous? Like, why couldn't he just said, "Yo, Perkinson's a bad guy"? I guess maybe the argument for, okay, let me make the argument, and then I'll make the counter argument. You can tell me what you think. The argument is, why the heck did he say "there it lies" when he could have easily said Perkinson betrayed us, or Perkinson's a liar, or he killed me, or something like that? Instead, he says "there it lies," and if the argument for that is, well, he didn't want Perkinson to just take out Heather right there. So that's the argument against it. I guess the question is, was he close enough to when he died? He could have whispered it in her ear without him hearing it or anything like that. So I don't know. Like it bothers me that just conveniently for the plot twist to happen, the guy just says something really ambiguous. So I don't know. What do you think about that, Isaiah?
I got no clue why you would do that. I didn't really catch on to that or think he was like that. I also wasn't really paying attention to stuff like that. So I don't really know about that. So yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. And I mean, all 3 of these plot twists, I think they added the story, and they're kind of like okay, that makes sense. They all make sense in their own way, and they're all rather obvious if you go back. So there's nothing too extraordinary, but like I said, they add to the story. They're fun. They're productive. It's not like in Star Wars, Luke and Leia is a massive plot twist, and it's huge, except that it does literally nothing.
Yeah.
Really? Except, excuse me. Maybe give some false hope that Leia can also save the galaxy. But this does a little bit more than that while being less predictable. So, all right, now we got to move on. We got to actually real fast. Let's check in on our characters. Pickett and not Peckett and Hither. Pickett and Heather. What's their character development like in this book, Isaiah? How are they going from point A to point B? How have they changed since book 1? Do you like them better? Do you like them worse? What's going on?
I would say I like them better in this book. In the first book, they were both like basically just scared all the time or weak. It seemed like something like that. Like Heather never wanted to go train or learn to do anything because she didn't want people like to think she was bad or something, to look down on her or something like that if she messed up or something like that. I think.
Right.
And Pickett, he tried his best, but he was pretty bad at fighting in the beginning. The end, he did great.
Right, and that's really his motivation to go to Helmer is he feels like he failed his family, and so he wants to get better at that.
Exactly, yeah. So, in this book, Pickett's like known by everyone for being an amazing fighter and really good at fighting, and Heather just, I don't know, overcame that fear and started becoming a doctor. And didn't she also, is this the one where she wrote her poem or song or story or whatever? Or is that the next one?
No, that's the first one. That's the first one.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I mean, she at the very end, she says...
You're right, yeah,
like,
okay.
A fire comes first, whatever bear the flames. That's the first one.
Yeah, okay. So basically, they've both become more confident and just stronger altogether and just, I don't know, more willing to give up their lives and fight for the cause and bear the flame, as they put it.
As they put it, yep. Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I think Pickett's much more likable now that he's gone through his annoying but necessary character development growth of being angry and confused and wanting to be better. And so it's necessary. I like it. I like it in the Wingfeather saga also with both Janner and Kalmar. But now that he's kind of past that, it's much better to have his character development here be, all right, now I've got to be the guy who's got to protect everybody. Got to be the guy who's everybody's going to look up to. And also have to deal with what he thinks is basically indirectly leading to the demise of his king and prince, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's kind of a... It's a better phase because it's more enjoyable. It's more entertaining to see him be able to kick bad guys' butts, and also more entertaining for that. And as far as Heather goes, kind of same thing. She's improving. She hasn't changed a lot. She's become more sure of herself, like you said. She's become more duty and battle determined, and we get less of her and Smalls together, which is always nice in my opinion. But that's kind of a thing. So. Speaking of kicking enemies' butts, we think about the battle scenes. We get a lot at the very end, especially, and then also in the middle with Bleston killing everybody. So
yeah, I thought they were well written. I thought basically, I don't know. Yeah, they were well written and made you kind of like feel like you were there actually witnessing it. At least I could picture it in my mind what was happening, where and when, and all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it was cool that they got that dude Hayward to. I think Hayward.
Yeah,
I think that's his name. Who made those inventions, like who created stuff and to help them win the battle and all that, like his wingsuit or the catapults with the bombs on them or whatever they were.
Yeah, the little like blast kegs.
Yeah, those things.
Yeah, I think it's also like you said. You said you're able to picture everything. He does a really good job of clearly laying out the battlefield, so you know where everybody is, and with kind of the positioning of everybody is and their predicament and where the bad guys are coming from, where the good guys are, everything like that is all well done. And that's really something that's important whenever you're doing battle scenes and stuff like that is what's going on? Like, where are people? It's not just a haze like that. So it's very well done in terms of that, I agree. And it's fun. I mean, I don't know. I think the only part that I would maybe dock him on is every time it seems like any rabbit can just kick anything, and they're knocked out now, and it's like a superpower or something. And it's like, could a girl rabbit really
knock
down a wolf with a
in
kick?
The face, and all of a sudden I'm like destroy him?
Exactly. It's like, could that really happen? It could happen every single time. Why don't they just have an army of rabbits that do that? I don't know. So that's like consistency there, maybe, but also they're fun, they're good. The battle scenes are engaging and ingenuitive in terms of where things are going and moving. It's not just 100 pages of schlock battle of people are fighting, but it's okay. We got to move here. We got to move there. Like I watched The Two Towers recently, and Peter Jackson does a fairly good job of. Okay, this is not just an hour of battle scenes. It's an hour of. Okay, we got to go here. We got to go here. I know they're gonna take the wall. We got to retreat back. We got to hold the door. It's moving pieces and things like that. He does a good job of that as well as making it fun with elements like blast kegs and Hayward's invention, like you said, and that he gets to pick it. I will say that even though I criticized it last week for being like, why do they need to be rabbits when they could have literally been humans and it would have been mostly the same story? He comes up with fun ways to kind of change that and manipulate that, as well as the aerial battles, most notably. Because really, a wolf and a rabbit, while one is stronger, obviously, they seem pretty equal if they're fighting each other, right?
Yeah.
So that's not the same, but in terms of aerial battle, aerial combat, and things like that, he's able to, and obviously kicking people, if you're a rabbit, it's very well done and knows how to play with that well. So, hey, the battle scenes are really fun, and that's another reason why I like it. It's fun to read, and it occupied a lot of the book, honestly. Like a third of the book is preparing for battle and battle itself. So,
yes.
So, the last thing, or another thing that I want to talk about was really a lot of the Green Ember series until the very end of the last book is living in the dark times, bearing the flame while the war is going on, living in despair, but looking forward to the mended wood, looking forward to when those days will no longer be happening, when those days will be over. This paradigm of despair before hope, dark before light, and the night before day, really. Yeah. So I want to ask you, like, when you were reading this book, did it accurately capture kind of that feeling of, man, it seems like all is lost, man, it seems like we're not going to win the day yet, we got to keep fighting and hope that one day it's not going to be like that? Did it accurately and emotionally depict that well for you?
I feel like it did, yeah. It wasn't, I don't know, I feel like it did it well, but it could have been better. I feel like it, also, like, in this book alone, yeah, there was some of it, but it's more like whenever you're considering, like, the, when you say, like, it's always darker before it, like, or
yeah, it's
the dark before the light or whatever. Day. Yeah. I feel like it fits better if you compare this book and the next book. Because the end of this book is whenever it gets darker and there's, like, no hope. And then the next book, the end of it, is when it
called
gets better.
Ember Falls and Ember Rising.
Exactly.
For no reason.
I was about to say that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is a fun imaginative series. Don't expect reading this to be some new ingenuitive fantasy series. Like it's a very in the mold stereotypical fantasy series, but it's a lot of fun. So in that sense, yeah, it captures about as well as anybody could the feeling of despair before hope. As cliched as it is, it does it well. It does it fine. Yeah, could it be better? Yeah. Maybe it could have found some ingenuitive way to do it. I mean, I think they actually play with this a little bit better in the first book, where Helmer's having that conversation with the guy about Pickett. And he said his other weaknesses, he thinks that we can win. That's a fun little thing to throw in there. And so, I think if I read like 100 of these books, I would get really tired of, but we have to have hope, because if we don't have hope, we don't have anything. But as far as it goes, it's pretty fun. Like this is life. It's night before day. It's despair before hope, and hope does win in the end. So, hey, it's true. If you're complaining about it, but it's true. So, I will have some complaints, especially when we get to the last book of, did we really need death to be cured? Do you really need this stuff to happen the way it did. But as far as it goes, and especially at the end of the third book as well, it's a lot of fun in terms of that. So,
Yeah, I would agree.
last thing to say. Anything to say about maybe world building? We talked a little bit about that last time. Any world building any cool world building that was added this time, or anything that you thought either improved the world of Natalia or worsened it maybe?
I would say one thing that maybe helped it was when that dude, I forgot his name already. The prince, Silver Prince dude, wherever he was from.
Prince Bluston.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Where they added that whole different place, basically, where he was from, that we kind of heard of a little bit before, but not much. Wasn't the place that he was from, like, technically supposed to be, was considered like a myth?
Yeah, because Kyle was talking about it in the other book, which is another, I guess, fun. It's a fun thing. Right. It was, Kyle actually was telling the truth, and he's a prince from there, right? So
I know, right? Shocking.
Yeah, he was talking about it. Yeah.
That guy being a prince? Nah, no way.
No. So you like that? Anything else?
No, I think that's about it. Besides, like, just learning a bit more about their past and, like, what happened in the past with the fall and all that. But
yeah, I think it is cool. I think it opens each book with like a thing from, or at least this book opens from a thing from the past, right? Of King Whitson sailing and Prince Lander and all that. So that's all that side world building and storytelling is pretty fun as well. I don't know if it's just me, if I'm getting tired of things. I've read so many of them, but there's another scene in the middle, kind of where they're about to, King Bluston's about to say that he's supporting Smalls and his kingship, right? And then there's like this, the priests of their world are talking about Flint and Faye, which is the Adam and Eve of their world. And so I'm like, does every Christian fantasy series need to have an Adam and an Eve story, I guess? I don't know. Like, maybe it's just me. I think at the same time, there's a cool way to do it and make this cool mythic foundation of there's this really cool story because it's true, because it rings true. It's part of our past of Adam and Eve. It doesn't go really deep into it. It just references those two. And Wing Feather Saga does this really well. Actually, they have a pretty good Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel story. So I don't know if it's just not done well here, but I thought that detracted a bit in terms of that. But everything else, like you said, I forget, what's the place where Kyle and King Bluston come from again?
Natalia?
The Silver Star. No, Natalia's like the big world, right?
Oh,
Caroline, right?
Yes,
Caroline. Yeah, so that's a cool add-on, and it's fun to see that's actually true, and that myths can be true sometimes. So
yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah. All right. Well, any final thoughts on Ember Falls? Where would you place it in terms of the series, if you can remember?
Oh, jeez. Probably. I mean, I like all the books in the series, so not saying that this one's bad, but probably is like my least favorite.
Okay.
But not like that it's a bad book. I just don't like it as much as the others.
Yeah. Or 1 to 10 scale, how many rabbits out of 10 would you give it?
I give it like 6.5.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give it a good 7 for sure. I'd agree. I think so far I actually liked it better than the first one. I don't remember. I remember liking the third one. I remember not as much liking the fourth one. So we'll see what happens. But so far it's my favorite. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do some donor shoutouts. Where would someone go if they wanted a donor shoutout, Isaiah?
They would go to patreon.com/book. Yeah, booking it and donate to any of our tiers that are $5 and up. Bro, that was the one time I had a stutter. Dang it.
Yeah, well, I was about to say, like, people now know that we don't record these in advance. Like, these are all live. So
no, these are. Well,
there's proof right there.
We record these and then post them.
Yeah. I know. Or do we? No. Okay. I don't know why I said those dumb.
What?
Okay. I'm gonna say. All right. I'm gonna say the patron, and then you assign them a classic villain name, unlike Morbin Blackhawk or Red Eye Garlickson, or do a cool classic.
I don't know if they'll be
villain
classic
that everybody's gonna know,
but there'll be one that most people should know.
Okay. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, Nana.
Let's go with the Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh, yeah. Van Pappy and Wayla.
Let's go with Sauron.
Mike and Sylvia, your grandparents.
Let's go with the White Witch.
Mr. Mike and Miss Laura, your parents.
I think I'd have Captain Barbosa.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, okay, he was bad, but he also
Is
was
he a
good
villain?
later. He's
Yeah,
a
I don't
villain
know.
in the first movie, if you just watch the first.
Yeah, which is probably the best one. So.
Yeah.
Auntie and Uncle Sam.
Let me think. What about, like, Loki?
Loki. Moses.
Let's give him Thanos.
Zara.
Would this count? Scarlet Witch? Trying to keep Marvel for, like, just them. I don't know if she'd be... I mean, she
We
is,
could launch
but, like,
into a 5-minute conversation about why Marvel is garbage because it doesn't care about character continuity at all. Because in WandaVision, she's a good guy, and then in Multiverse of Madness, she's not, so I don't know. No, I'm not going to allow you to do that because, unlike Marvel, I believe in character continuity, so...
Dang it. Lord Farquaad.
Lord okay. We can launch into an even longer conversation about why Shrek is terrible. But anyway, we won't do that. Okay, Anna.
Oh, I never did Harry Potter. Bellatrix Lestrange.
Electric is Strange. Emily.
Emily. Ooh, how do you say her name? It's Malfoy's
Narcissa
mom.
Malfoy?
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say
I
her
would
name.
have thought you were going to say Mrs. Norris, but okay. Say that for your
No?
sister, Becky.
Becky.
Come on, say Mrs. Norris the cat. No, I don't know.
I'm gonna do some like random thing. Let's do something from Greek mythology.
Oh,
Medusa.
Medusa. Okay. Lizzie.
Lizzie? Well, who would Lizzie get? I'm trying to think of anything like from some series that I haven't said so far. But I can't remember any other series.
Like a new series?
Anything.
Anything. It's a famous female villain from anything. Rose from Last Jedi.
That's great.
All right, Rose from Last Jedi. All right, and last but not least, Keenan.
Oh, you
He
gotta
didn't say
get Lord
Darth
Voldemort.
Vader. Okay, Voldemort. Fair enough. All right, well, thank you guys so much for listening to that, especially that last like 3-minute, 4-minute section of just donor shoutouts. But we had fun, so hey,
Oh yeah, it was great.
that's the best part. Thank you for listening to us. If you could go ahead and support us if you're able at patreon.com/booking it, it'd be much appreciated. The link is in the description. If you can't support us, no worries. Make sure to leave us a 5-star rating and review. It really helps us get the show out. And also, if you want to get the show out, text your friends, your family. They'll enjoy the podcast. Let them know about us. And we'll see you next time.
Keep on booking it.